Alright guys, it's here. Finally! I have a kid-free day. It's 93 degrees outside. I'm going to be drenched in sweat in just a few minutes, but I'm going to do the property tour. Alright, so let's hop in the side-by-side and I'll show you around. Alright, so here we are by the road. There's my driveway and all these pine trees out here. We actually planted the first spring we were out here. The initial plan was to turn this whole area right here into a giant lake pond and landscape it, make it look beautiful, and Eric wanted to put a giant, massive flagpole right here with a big, giant flag. But then it kind of turned into, well, maybe he wanted to make this into a big horse arena. We still haven't decided, so there it sits. Right now this is a temporary horse pasture for the summertime. So we're gonna go up the driveway. This is our summertime cow pasture. This is the original cow pasture. And the cow moving video, and this is where they were housed. It's right along the driveway. Down there is the field that I just tilled up yesterday and I got coated in dust. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, but that's what happens when it's 90 degrees and you haven't had rain in a month. We'll come back to this area in a little bit. This was our sugar shack for 2 years. It is legitimately a shack, no joke. We call it the ugly sugar castle because it looks like a castle and it's hideously ugly. I'm surprised we haven't had the township over here complaining about it, but yeah, but it worked. I don't know what we're doing for next year, so don't ask. We're still trying to figure that out. This was actually a recycled tarp from a giant round top we had out here that got destroyed in a tornado. Here's our hay equipment. The deck we built, we recycled it from the original deck that was on the camper. There's actually that's my maple syrup evaporator that I have to finish cleaning. It's 90% clean and I gotta finish it off and store it. That's the dog shed. I have it closed, trying to keep the cold air inside. There's Gator. What you doing, Gator? So it's double fenced, and they're not out right now because that little post right there, yeah, they like to run up that and jump out, and I don't need any more animals being eaten, so until we can get that fixed, they have to stay penned up in the metal area. The white jugs we use for collecting sap. There's my tractor. There's the horses. This is our main horse pasture. You can see how dry and dusty it is. There's a pond way down there. It's my barn. The barn we built, let's see, I think it was year 2 we built the barn. This is all solid clay right here. There's Eric's RC race car track. The cows in their new pasture. Hey guys! I'm not going to name all of the tractor implements we have, but we have a lot. Over here, in case you're wondering what this is our sprayer boom. I have a video where I was using this, but I don't know if I'm ever going to post it. This is our seeder. This is how we seed our hayfield. I'm going to have to use that pretty soon. Alright, this I just did yesterday. This is our horse arena. Every year we expand it. Gets a little bit bigger. This is a mixture of hot coat wire fencing, wood panel fencing, and Krell panels. These are nice because you can move them anywhere. Alright, the back of my barn. The turkey's in the barn. If you want a barn video, you can just look through my other videos and see stuff about my barn. Here's the turkey pen. Empty of turkeys because they got too big. Alright, so buckle up, folks. We're gonna go for a ride. just to show you. There's a giant pine tree back here. I thought it'd be cool at some point to put like a little horse hitching post out here and a picnic table. There's a pond right back there, a big one. Everything's dried right now because there's no rain. I mean, look at the ferns. Everything's dying. There are no mushrooms anywhere because it is so dry. This area is covered in mushrooms every year. No mushrooms. All right, let's go. Now we're coming out into Eric's honey hole. This is where he likes to hunt. My 50-yard raven crossbow shooting video takes place out here too. This is a hay field. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I have to come through and cut it. It's kind of sad I gotta cut this because this would be great to pasture the horses on. You can see there's a good amount of grass out here. This is all wild grass. I don't know exactly what kind of wild grass, but decent wild grass. So we're gonna plant some orchard grass and some timothy over top of it, and it should fill it in pretty good. All right, so I'm not gonna drive through here because this is Eric's hunting area and this is where the deer like to hang out. But, so this stuff is Sudan grass. Or maybe I've got, maybe something else. I think it's Sudan grass. I think that's what it is. Clover for the deer to eat. I gotta plant some turnips in here for them. And so you can see everything's dying off over there. That right there is his honey hole deer stand, the one that I shot the crossbow from. And he shoots a lot of deer here. Probably at least 2/3 of the deer are shot right here. My daughter shot her first deer, one and only deer, in here. Oh, yep, it's still standing. I can see it, which I don't think you can see on the camera because of the glare. This was actually where we tapped all of our trees the second year we tapped, right through here and in there. And those were all reds and silvers. All right, moving on. We're gonna drive through my freshly tilled field. This was our brome field that we planted twice, but because we didn't get any rain, it all died. That was another travesty because that was $400 worth of seed that we just went kapoof. $400. Brome seed is expensive, but it's really good grass. So let's go. This is our orchard grass field. It's coming in slowly. That's the neighbor's property right there. It's the corner of our field. And this is the orchard that we share with the neighbors. I don't know who owns the trees actually. They've obviously been here forever. But there's all different kinds of apple trees. None of them are exactly spectacular, but you know, they're still nice to come out here and eat once in a while. I would like to go through and plant lots of apple trees and lots of peach and nectarine trees. It's making me thirsty thinking about nectarines. Yum. Alright, so we got some paths through here that Eric cut out. There's lots and lots. This is where all my big bucks live, is all through here. There's another path. There are tons and tons of deer paths out here. This is one reason why this has not been developed. You can see that it looks like a big waste of land. Another path. And that's where it gets tricky. It's hard to figure out between effective use and effective waste. This is a lot. I mean, this whole area back here is 10 acres. That's as big as our hay field. This is 10 acres of stuff we're not using, that we're paying taxes on, that's just sitting here. And we hunt it on occasion. So we're thinking maybe of turning half of it, like the front half, 5 acres worth, into more hay field. And then the other 5 acres just leaving as scrubland. I don't know. We're still deciding. Put your comments down below. what do you think we should do? Oh, another thing Eric thought about was turning this into a giant dirt bike track, which I said was kind of a pointless use because he doesn't hardly ride his dirt bike. I don't know. Post your comments down below. Here we go. That's the neighbor's deer blind. This is our sandy pit area. This whole circle area here of dead, dying weeds is all sand. Oh yeah, and here's a picture of Eric being smart and getting stuck on this thing right here because he totally thought that he could just jump right over it in the side-by-side. I had to come pull him out with the quad. Okay, so right over there is my food plot, planted the same as Eric's. Right over here, down further, there's a set of trees where I put my climber stand on. And this area right out here is where I shot my giant buck that you can see in the 100-yard Raven crossbow video shot. I've got it mounted on the wall. But this is where I shot him. Eric was legitimately walking out here. The deer was standing right out there, looked over at Eric trying to figure out what he was doing, and turned to look at him, and that's when I shot him right through the broadside. Pretty sweet. Alright, this is where it gets interesting because some of this road is washed out. You ready for this? Now, this is my next project this week, is going to be fixing this road because we're not going to be able to do maple syrup next year if this doesn't get fixed. And I'm not joking. Because it's good right now because we haven't had a lot of rain, but just look at this. All of this is going to fill straight up full of water. And when it fills up full of water, it gets mushier and mushier and mushier, which makes everything sink deeper and deeper and deeper. And when you're hauling 75 gallons of sap, that's, I don't know, 500 extra pounds plus in the back. It's hard to get through that stuff. I mean, the side-by-side is not as nearly as heavy as a tractor, but it still weighs a lot, especially with sap in the back. Here we go. Entering the woods. Now our woods area is only 30 acres. Only 30 acres. But we can still call it the back 40 because the front part of it is 10. So this is the back 40. There goes the squirrel. Alright, let's see if I can do this without getting stuck. You ready? I don't know if you can see the mud flying or not. Alright, so you're going to see some marks on trees. Those are my maple syrup trees. They're all marked. I hopefully have collected all of my maple syrup buckets out of here. I don't see any, so I think I did. Here's the junction in the path. Now, we didn't make any of these paths. These were out here from somebody long ago. But what we've had to do is re-carve them out. So it's taken us 4 years to find as many trails as we have. I think 3 permanent stands out here. And he's got like 2 more sitting in the barn waiting to be put somewhere. So, alright, moving on. I've only been through here, I think, twice with the horses in 4 years. simply because I just don't have time to do it, or because it's been too mucky or too buggy. This is the perfect time of year to take the horses back here, honestly. There's no bugs, there's no mud. Up here's a culvert that I'm gonna have to fix this year. Wow, there's a lot of light coming in up there. Ooh. Here we go. I hate doing that. About. So right here is the end of our property line in the woods. And ironically enough, the people that live right over there used to own our property long time ago. And they used to do maple syrup too. Alright, now you can see this pathway is not carved out very good, because I haven't been doing maple syrup on this area, so it's a little bit more overgrown. And then we're coming up to sand pit number 2. Hopefully I don't die coming up here. Alright, there's sand pit number 2. That's where Eric first started getting sand out of. And actually, that middle post right there is our property marking line. And as you can see, the neighbors actually went through and scooped all of our sand out for themselves. Anyhow, okay, I'm gonna watch out for all these sticks and stuff back here. So, like I said, it's really nice back here. I could just literally sit back here for hours and just sit in a tree and just breathe the fresh air. Alright, this part's a lot of fun too. Not really. This is all weeds and grass that has grown up. Ah, looks like everyone's been mushing it down pretty good. Uh-oh, I hit something. We had family over last week with dirt bikes and quads and everything else, and looks like they did a good job of mushing everything down. Land over there is the neighbors. There's another fence right here. See the barbed wire fencing right there? Now I'm not going to go down this pathway. This is another maple syrup pathway. I'll show you on the map. Here we go, ready? So that's where that goes. Now I'm gonna come out the back end of this, which also has to be replaced because it is washed out badly. We got a tree here, so hold on. And this was a big creek, but it's been washed out. I don't like that. I have gotten stuck on that before, like bottomed out and then just got stuck there. Fortunately, I managed to get out, but it freaks me out every time. Alright, so here we come back out to the hayfield. And this is our orchard grass field. You can see that it's pretty brown and pretty dry. Some of it's doing pretty good. Honestly, considering how bad of a year it was, it survived pretty well, but there's not a whole lot growing out here. Eric's got another stand right over there and another one right there, and I think he has another one right out there, all designed to shoot out to here. And this was the reason why he got the Raven crossbow, was so that he could shoot more deer out here. So back here, there's another creek that runs right along through here. And there's a little secret deer area way back there. We call it the secret area because it's nearly impossible to get to. You have to go there on foot because it's so overgrown with trees you can't get the side-by-side back there. Alright, so we're almost done. Yay! So if you're wondering why it takes me so long to get a video done, it's because literally there's so much to do out here and so many things that have to get done. Like those trails have to get fixed or we can't do maple syrup next year. Then again, where are we going to do maple syrup? Our sugar shack is completely destroyed. These are all questions that as a farmer you have to think about ahead of time, not just when the time comes up. Farming is a lot about planning and thinking ahead, which can be really hard to do when you have other stuff going on. Like planting the field, which probably should have been done last year, but we didn't think ahead far enough. Neighbor's property. This is the property line of the road right here. They don't farm, they just plant food for the deer. And here we come again. There's the brome field all tilled up. Gonna replant it as soon as rain's in the forecast. This is the back end of the cow pasture. And the back of the house and barn. There's my garden, my crab garden. So I hope you enjoyed the tour.